Back to my channel. Today I will show you how I make my sweet potato pudding, which is called patate. It is absolutely fabulous. Stay tuned. I'll show you how I put it together. And once again, do not forget to follow me on my Instagram page at AnnetteDoor26. AnnetteDoor26. All right, guys, I just want to show you the sweet potato that I will use. This is not the sweet potato that has the yellow inside. The inside of this is actually this color. It's white. So what you would do is just peel the skin off. And what I did was I got, this was pretty long. I already started to grate it. And if you notice, even if it's starting to get dark, it's not a problem, because once we began to boil and add everything in, it's gonna get dark eventually. So what you would do is use the thick, the big part of your grater, and then you just grate your sweet potato in. I think this one, since it was so big, it should be enough. So I won't need any more. But if you get small ones, like I was saying, they have medium, large, and small. So it's totally what is available at your supermarket. If they're large, just grab one big one. You should be fine. If they're medium, grab 2. And if they're small, grab 4. You should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and continue grating, and I'll show you what I do next. If you notice, this is only one sweet potato. I think it's called boñata in Spanish. So what I will add to it now is 1 carnation milk. Okay? So you're going to add your carnation milk, your evaporated milk. Carnation is the brand. You can use any brand. I didn't realize that big piece will make so much, but that's perfect though. And then to that, I will add my coconut milk. Okay, any brand will do. And then you add that in like this. Okay, perfect. And then you just give it a stir. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, it's not too liquidy. Perfect. So we're gonna let this cook down for about, I would say, half an hour. To this, I will add some of my ground cinnamon. I don't measure, so I just eyeball. That should be good. And the next thing I will do is add some brown sugar. Okay. I'm gonna try to get maybe a cup in. That's good. I'd rather add less now. I'm gonna stir the sugar in. And once you stir it in, you could give it a taste. If it's sweet to your liking, then you leave as is. If it's not, just add some more sugar. Not a big deal. Let me give it a quick. The coconuts taste so good in there. And add just a little bit more sugar. You don't want it too sweet, but you want it sweet. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. Next thing I'm going to use is my essence, which is your vanilla extract. And just a little bit more. Just a little. That's good. And then I'm going to add in some nutmeg. So I'm going to grate it in. Not a lot of nutmegs, because nutmegs we already know has a strong flavor, so you don't want it to overtake your patate. This was a small piece. So, okay, perfect. I'm gonna give it a stir. And all this is on the stove, so my stove is on high, so I'm gonna allow it to come to a boil. And the next thing I will add to this is just a little bit of butter. A little bit of butter, not, you know what? Yeah, just not much, just a little bit of butter. That's enough. So I'm gonna let this come to a boil, and you're gonna notice once it's fully boiling, I'm gonna turn the stove down and let it simmer for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And you're gonna notice how nice and dark this gets. And then once it simmers down, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I do next. All right, guys, I forgot to tell you guys, you must add a piece of ginger in. The amount of ginger you add is totally up to you. And if you notice, I'm grating it to the point where it's so small, you won't even realize it's in there. Okay? And that's basically what I'm gonna add for now. And then when I come back, I'll show you what else I add. It's been cooking for about 15 minutes now, so what I will do is add a little bit of salt so we can balance out the flavor. Just a pinch of salt, not much, like that. And I also am gonna add my banana. So what you're gonna do, depending on the amount you're making, you just take your banana, a regular banana, and you smush it with your fork until it has this consistency, like a baby food consistency, okay? And so I'm gonna add my banana in like this. Okay, and then what I will add to this, I am using some raisins. You could just drop the raisins in there, as much or as little, but I don't like it with too much raisins. But what I also like to do is I like to soak my raisins in some of our 5-star Haitian rum. Absolutely fabulous. It adds an extra taste to your pain patate. So it's very delicious, so do not skip this. I added along with the rum. See, it was not that much rum, guys. Don't overdo it with the rum. And then you stir it in. You don't want too much raisins. You just want it throughout your bread pudding. Okay? So I'm going to let this cook maybe for about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to put it in the oven. Guys, before I take pour my mixture in, I just wanted to show you that I am using some coconut oil just to grease my pan. This will already have coconut in it. Just use a little bit, just grease it around the sides. And this will prevent it from sticking once it's done. Okay, beautiful. All right. And it's already greased like I showed you. And I just wanted to mention, if you don't have coconut oil, that's fine. You can use some butter, and that'll work as well. Here is our mixture. If you notice, it's got brown. I tasted, it's delicious, y'all. I did have to change the pot out because for some reason the other one, it was burning. But all throughout the cooking, you need to constantly stir it, maybe every 10 minutes. I let this cook for about 40 minutes. So now it has, see, it has like a cake-like consistency, see? It's like a cake-like consistency. So it's ready for us to put in the oven. It's kind of hot, so we're gonna see if I can just pour it. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, this thing is hot and heavy. And if you notice, the raisins that I add is just enough. It's not too much. It's going right through it. And another thing about the raisins I forgot to mention, if you don't want to use the rum, or if you don't have rum, you can go ahead and just let them soak in some water. The whole purpose of you soaking it is once you put it in, you don't want them to kind of like stick together. Okay, so this is perfect. And I have already preheated my oven to 350, and I'm gonna let this bake for about an hour to an hour and a half. It depends. So what you will do is just stick your fork in like a cake. Just make sure you know it's nice and together before you pull it out the oven, and you must let it rest. It has to rest for about an hour or to 2 hours until it's nice and cool before you cut into it. Stay tuned and I'll show you what that looks like. Here is the final product. This is our sweet potato pudding. It is divine. I let it sit overnight. The flavors settle beautifully. It is delicious, delicious, delicious. Until next time, please like, comment, and do not forget to subscribe.